Welcome back, Wheel Watchers. You've tuned in just in time for another thrilling episode of America's Game, and tonight we're celebrating the amazing educators who shape our future. Pat and Vanna are here, and the studio is buzzing with excitement. Let's meet our three incredible teachers ready to spin the wheel and solve some puzzles. First up, from sunny San Diego, California, we have David. He's a high school history teacher who makes the past come alive for his students by dressing up as historical figures. Tonight, he's hoping to make some history of his own and win big for a class trip to Washington, D.C. Next to him is Maria, a kindergarten teacher from Chicago, Illinois. She says the best part of her job is seeing the light bulb moment when a child learns to read. She's playing for new books and supplies for her classroom. And finally, from Austin, Texas, we have Sarah, a middle school science teacher. She's known for her explosive volcano experiments and wants to build a new greenhouse for her school's gardening club. Three fantastic teachers, all with wonderful goals. The first toss-up is on the board, and the category is thing. The letters are popping up. David buzzes in with perfect attendance record. That's it. He's just won his first $1,000 and the right to spin the wheel first. What a great start. The wheel is in motion, and David's first spin lands on $700. He calls a T, and there are two of them. He follows up with an H, and there's one H. He spins again, landing on $500. He buys an E, and we see four E's light up the board. The puzzle is starting to take shape. He decides to buy another vowel, an A, and there are two of them. With the board looking pretty full, he spins one more time, narrowly avoiding the bankrupt and landing on $650. He calls an L, and there's one L. He's looking confident. The category is, what are you doing? Let's see if he can solve it, he says, taking the scenic route. Correct. David is on a roll, adding another hefty sum to his total. He's off to an amazing lead. Now it's time for our second toss-up, worth $2,000. The category is place. The letters appear one by one, and this time it's Maria who rings in. She quickly solves University Library. Just like that, she's on the board with $2,000 in control of the wheel. The crowd is cheering her on. Maria gives the wheel a powerful spin, and it lands on the express wedge. This could be a game changer. The category is same letter. She calls a D, and there are three of them. She decides to take a risk and hop on the express. A bold move. She calls an R, and yes, another three R's. She's on fire. She calls a G, one G and N, one N. She buys an I, two of them. Then an O, also two of them. The puzzle is almost complete. The same letter hint. She confidently solves Daring Dragon's Den. That's it. Maria has just rocketed into the lead, turning that express wedge into a massive payday. What a fantastic round for our kindergarten teacher. But don't count anyone out yet. We're heading into the mystery round. The category is fictional family. Sarah, you're up. You haven't had a chance to spin yet, but this is your moment. She gives the wheel a gentle push, and it lands on $500. She calls for an S, and there are two. She spins again, landing on the mystery wedge. She calls a T, and there are two T's. Now for the big decision. Does she flip the wedge? There could be $10,000 under there, or a bankrupt. The audience is holding its breath. She decides to go for it. She flips it over, and it's the $10,000. The studio erupts. She has to solve the puzzle to keep it, though. She calls an M, one M. She buys an A, two of them. She buys an I. One I. She looks at the board. The Incredible Family? No, that's not quite right. She loses her turn, and that $10,000 is still in play. David, it's back to you. The board has a lot of letters filled in. He spins, lands on $900, and calls an R. There's one R. He solves it. The Addams Family. He steals the puzzle. But Sarah's $10,000 is safe for now, since she didn't hit bankrupt. It's been a nail-biter of a round, and the scores are getting closer. Before our next puzzle, we have a special prize on the wheel. It's a trip to the beautiful islands of Hawaii. This tropical getaway is worth over $8,000. The category is food and drink. Maria, you're starting this round? She spins and lands on 500. She calls for AP, and there are 2. She spins again, landing right next to the prize wedge on $700. She calls a C, and there are 3 of them. A very popular letter. She buys a vowel, an O, and we see 2 O's. She spins again, and this time she gets it. She lands right on the Hawaii trip. She just needs to call a correct letter. She calls an N, and there are 2 N's. She picks up the prize wedge. She's got Hawaii. She solves the puzzle. Coconut cream pie. Absolutely correct. Maria is having an incredible night. She's won cash and a trip to Hawaii. We're moving fast, and it's time for the final spin of the night. Pat gives the wheel one last push, and it lands on the $5,000 space. That means every consonant will be worth $6,000. The category is living things. Sarah, you start. She calls a T, and there's 1. $6,000 for her. David calls an S, and there are 2. $12,000. Maria calls an R, and there's 1 R. Back to Sarah, she buys an E, and there are 3 of them. David buys an E, and there are 2. Maria buys an I. No I, Sarah calls an L. 1 L, David calls a C. 1 C, the puzzle is majestic coastal redwoods. Sarah solves it. What a comeback. She adds a huge amount to her total in the final seconds. After that whirlwind speed-up round, the totals are in. And tonight's big winner, heading to the bonus round with an amazing lead, is Maria. She has won a huge amount of cash and that dream trip to Hawaii. David and Sarah are also going home with a very respectable amount of cash. What a game. Now, Maria joins Pat and Vanna at the bonus wheel. She gives it a spin, and it lands on the G in Americas. She has 10 seconds to solve a phrase puzzle. The classic R, S, T, L, N, and E are revealed. She chooses her own letters, C, D, M, and A. The board lights up. It looks tough. The letters are spaced out. The clock starts. She's thinking hard. Just go with it. She shouts it out with 2 seconds to spare. She did it. The audience goes wild. Pat opens the envelope, and inside is $45,000. Maria has just won a grand total of over $90,000 in cash and prizes. What an unbelievable night for our teacher from Chicago. Her classroom is about to get a major upgrade. A huge congratulations to Maria and to all of our wonderful teachers tonight. You truly are an inspiration. Thanks for joining us for another incredible episode. We'll see you next time. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a minute of the action. Thanks for watching.